day here in terms of signing day. I don't know how much you can say, but can you speak in generalities about the next class here at Xavier?
I'm free to. Yeah, I'm free to talk. They're all, they're all officially signed, and as you mentioned, we're really excited. I'd like to give my coaching staff a lot of praise for their hard work. It's a lot of time-consuming work that those guys put in. Whether it's identifying kids and their families early on in the process, when kids are sophomores, heck, even freshmen in some cases, and just continuing to develop relationships with the family, the recruit, their high school coaches, AAU coaches, guidance counselors, and I would be remiss if I didn't really give extra praise to Travis Steele, Luke Murray, and Mike Pegues for how hard those three work to secure what we feel like is a great class.
It's a very large class, 5 guys. Did you come into this knowing you wanted to have that number, or is it how it fell into place?
Well, we from the very beginning felt like it needed to be a large class. So much has been made about our team this year being light on scholarship numbers. And there are a few reasons why. No one cares, but there are a few reasons why as to why we don't have as many scholarship players as maybe we did a year ago. Immediate playing time becomes a concern for kids nowadays, and a lot of them aren't willing to sort of wait their turn, and so you lose kids to transferring. You certainly lose kids to entering the NBA early, and so it was a perfect storm for us in that we're losing a lot of scholarships. We need to make sure that next year we're not quite in the position that we are. We'll be a little bit inexperienced in some areas, but that's okay. I really like the guys that we've signed. High character kids, certainly talented enough to play at this level. I think positionally we answer the bell at just about every position. And so we're really, really excited about what those guys bring to the table.
What does it say for the program as well that this is the highest ranked class that's ever been at Xavier?
It goes back to what I said before. I think those those 3 assistant coaches worked incredibly hard at developing relationships with the right people. So often what's talked about are the kids that you get, the kids that sign the NLI, and make no mistake, those are the 5 we wanted. But there's also a weeding out process. There's kids that you'd love to have as well that maybe go a different direction. But at the end of the day, we answered everything that we wanted in terms of this class. We knew it had to be a large class. We knew those kids had to have the ability to play with one another. And they also had to be high-character guys and guys that would fit well in our locker room. And like I said, we answered the challenge. I think my assistant coaches did a terrific job.
You guys are facing Lehigh on Friday. It's a program you haven't faced, I think, since the tournament in 2012. When you look at their team, it seems that Tim Kempton stands out as a pretty big force. What do you see in him as you get ready for this game?
Well, I remember his dad, and he was a great player at Notre Dame, played in the NBA, and you can see just by the skill that he has around the basket, even when he's facing, he really understands the game. He has that ability that some post players don't necessarily have. That he has the ability to sort of play possum and lull you to sleep, and next thing you know, the ball's getting reversed his way and he's ducking in, and now your post player is in a terrible position. He's either going to catch it and get fouled and score, or one of those. And so he's a challenge. He knows how to get players off their feet. He's got a series of shot fakes, step throughs. Really knows how to play in the post. Has great footwork, and he's big. A lot of times when you play maybe a team that's not in the power conference, their center might be 6'6.5", 6'7", and faces you from the perimeter. Kempton, again, he can face, but he's also very, very adept with his back to the basket, and he's 6'10", 6'11".
Seems like they've got some good guards too. I mean, it's not an easy game to start your season with.
No, not at all. They're going to be right there for an NCAA tournament bid. We wanted to go out and challenge ourselves. We have great respect for Lehigh and the job that Coach Reed has done during his time there. So, they return just like we do, a lot of experience in the backcourt. First team all-conference player in Ross that has a great hesitation game, has the ability to get in the lane, make teammates better, but he can also score. And then they have some guys that can shoot the ball from the perimeter, and Lefroy and Price. And obviously Edmond knows Price, having played with him in high school. So it's a challenge, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We're excited to play as college basketball kicks off on Friday.
Guys said that they were up at 8 a.m. shooting free throws earlier this week, 200 at a time. Can you talk about that? And just, I know it's an emphasis coming off of the exhibition, but do you think that's going to kind of steady them as they head into the season here?
Well, I think a lot of times when you get right repetitions of something, it helps you. I think our guys needed to relax. Obviously Edmond going 0 for 3 to start the game is not indicative of the type of free throw shooter I think he's capable of being. He goes 7 for 7 in the second half. Tyreek's going to be a little bit of a work in progress at the free throw line, but he's going to get fouled. He's that physical. He's a bruiser, and I think he just needs to see a couple go in. Like I said from the very beginning, Tyreek puts in all the time in the world. So, it's nothing new. We haven't been at the free throw line in front of a crowd in a long time. I know it's 15 feet, but it's something that we have to concentrate at and get better at, just like we do a lot of other parts of our game.
Kaiser seems to be moving around well for someone who just had an knee scope. Do you envision the timeline that was originally put out there, which would be a month, to be shortened?
I have no idea. I'm just going to stick to that timeline. I think, to say that he could be back a little bit earlier, just that'd be putting the cart before the horse, and that's as honest of an answer as I can give you. He is moving around okay, and he's doing some things with Dave Fluker that show a really nice progression. But to say that he's going to start playing games or practicing earlier, I would have no idea at this point.